Welcome back to Wisdom Waves. Ever wondered who you really are beneath the masks and roles you play in life? Let's dive into this identity quandary, shall we? Now, self-identity is a tricky thing. It's like trying to catch a soap bubble. Just when you think you've got it, poof, it vanishes into thin air, and boy, do we have some misconceptions about it. Take job titles, for instance. Picture this. You're at a party. Someone asks, "What do you do?" You answer, "I'm a brain surgeon." Their eyes widen. Suddenly, you're the most interesting person in the room. But are you really just your job? Or how about social roles? You're a parent, a friend, a spouse. Important roles, no doubt, but do they truly define you? And then there are hobbies. Yes, you might love your weekly pottery class, but does that clay really shape your identity? So if you're not your job, your relationships, or your hobbies, who are you? Remember the time when you pretended to be a superhero as a kid? Oh, those were the days. You'd tie a bedsheet around your neck, strike a Superman pose, and believe you could fly. Or maybe you were more of a Wonder Woman, spinning around until you got dizzy, convinced you were invincible. Let me tell you about a little boy named Timmy. Timmy loved Batman. He'd stride around his house, his tiny chest puffed out, a towel draped over his shoulders, and his mom's black eye mask perched on his face. He'd spend hours saving his stuffed animals from the evil clutches of his sister's Barbie dolls. In his mind, he was the caped crusader, the savior of Gotham City, the great pretender. But here's the funny thing. As we grow older, we don't stop pretending, do we? We simply trade our superhero costumes for different masks. Professional masks, social masks, the I've got it all together masks. And somewhere along the way, the lines between the mask and our true selves begin to blur. Take Timmy, for instance. He grew up and traded his Batman mask for a suit and tie. He became a successful lawyer, always fighting for justice, just like his childhood hero. But was he truly happy? Or was he simply playing the part of the superhero, the role he thought he was supposed to play? It's a question worth pondering, isn't it? How often do we continue to pretend, to play roles that may not truly align with who we are? How often do we lose sight of our true selves in the process? But don't worry, this is not a tale of doom and gloom. Quite the contrary, it's a call to adventure. A beckoning towards self-discovery, a journey to uncover the true you, hiding beneath the layers of pretend. So was the caped crusader the real you, or is there more to the story? Ever been lost in a maze of mirrors, not knowing which reflection is the real you? Imagine this. Picture a hapless adventurer, let's call him Bob. Bob is a brave soul, always ready for a challenge. So when he finds himself at the entrance of a mirror maze, he steps in without a second thought. The maze is a labyrinth of reflections, a dazzling display of 1,000 Bobs, each one mirroring his every move. As Bob ventures deeper, he starts to realize that figuring out the right path isn't as easy as he thought. With every turn, every dead end, he sees a different version of himself. Surfer Bob with his sun-bleached hair, businessman Bob in a tailored suit, and even Ninja Bob with a smirk under his mask. Each reflection is Bob, yet not quite him. Now this is where it gets interesting. Amidst the chaos of countless Bobs, our hero starts to question, which one is the real Bob? Is it the one wearing a superhero cape ready to save the day? Or is it the one with a guitar serenading an invisible crowd? Or perhaps the one quietly reading a book in the corner? The maze of mirrors starts to feel like a metaphor for life. We all have multiple versions of ourselves, reflections shaped by our roles, relationships, and societal expectations. We're the diligent employee, the caring parent, the loyal friend, the passionate hobbyist, and so on. But amidst these many reflections, it's easy to lose sight of who we truly are. Bob's predicament highlights the confusion that often arises in our journey of self-discovery. It's like trying to find our way through a maze of mirrors, where every reflection is a possibility, an expectation, a version of us. But remember, just like Bob, we too can navigate this maze. It requires introspection, courage, and perhaps a little bit of humor. Because let's be honest, watching Bob bump into his reflection for the umpteenth time is pretty hilarious. And who knows, maybe that's the secret. Maybe the real you are the one who can laugh at yourself, embrace the adventure, and enjoy the journey. So how do you find the real you among a sea of reflections? Remember the thrill of a treasure hunt and the joy of discovering the hidden prize? Well, let's dive into a tale about a treasure hunt, the kind that would make Indiana Jones blush. Picture this, a group of 6 friends, each more clueless than the last, embarking on a journey to find the golden llama. Sounds exotic, right? Well, it was a plastic toy, spray-painted gold. But hey, it's the spirit of the hunt that counts. They start armed with nothing but a riddle-ridden map and a shared sense of adventure. They bumble through challenges, tripping over each other, getting lost, and even arguing about the difference between north-northwest and northwest-north. It's chaos, confusion, and hilarity all wrapped up in one messy package. But isn't that what makes a treasure hunt exciting? Now let's draw a parallel to our journey of self-discovery. Just like the treasure hunt, it's filled with confusion and chaos. We're all fumbling around trying to decipher the riddles that make up our identity. We take wrong turns, we get lost, we stumble, and sometimes we even trip over our own feet. But that's okay. It's all part of the journey. It's all part of the hunt. And just like our treasure-seeking friends, we are not alone. We have people around us, those who are also on their journeys. They may not have the same map or be hunting for the same treasure, but they are there, navigating their mazes, dealing with their confusions. And at the end of it all, when we finally find our golden llama, when we finally discover who we truly are, all the chaos, all the confusion, it all becomes worth it. The prize is not just about finding an identity, but about the journey we took to get there, the lessons we learned, the laughs we shared, and the growth we experienced. So ready to embark on the greatest treasure hunt of your life? Imagine meeting the real you for the first time. What would you say? Picture this, you're walking down the street minding your own business when you bump into someone. You look up and it's you. No, not you that everyone else sees, but the real you. The you that's been hiding under layers of social norms, expectations, and a dash of self-doubt. What's the big idea, you might ask, a tad flustered. And there stands the real you, with a twinkle in the eye, a mischievous grin playing on the lips, ready to retort. Well, I could ask you the same thing. Now this could go two ways. You could huff, puff, and walk away, or you could seize the moment and embark on the most enlightening conversation you've ever had. You'd probably start with some small talk. So, what's it like being the real me? You'd ask. The real you, always one for honesty, might chuckle and say, it's a blast. I mean, I get to be me without any of the filters. But I have to say, it gets a bit lonely in here, with you ignoring me all the time. And then, the questions would start pouring out. Why do I like the color blue? Why do I prefer cats over dogs? Why do I always choose the corner seat in a cafe? The real you would smile at each question, offering answers that might surprise, amuse, or even baffle you. As the conversation progresses, you start to realize how little you know about yourself. You'd discover passions, quirks, fears, and dreams that you never knew existed within you. And with each revelation, you'd feel a sense of excitement, a sense of liberation. This imaginary encounter, as comical as it seems, is a metaphor for the journey of self-exploration. It's about peeling back the layers, asking the tough questions, and embracing the surprises that come along the way. It's about getting to know the true you, with all its complexities, contradictions, and beautiful chaos. So when are you planning to have this enlightening conversation with yourself? The journey of self-discovery isn't a destination, it's a never-ending journey. Now that we've navigated through the identity quandary, masqueraded as the great pretender, got lost and found in the mirror maze, embarked on the treasure hunt, and finally met the true you, we're ready to take the first step. And honey, let me tell you, this isn't your average Sunday stroll. Think of this journey like a New York City subway ride. One minute you're cruising along the tracks enjoying the view, the next you're packed in like a sardine during rush hour. But remember, just like the subway, this journey has its ups and downs, twists and turns, but it's all part of the ride. And the most important takeaway? You're the conductor of this train. You're in control. You decide the stops, the speed, and the direction. So buckle up, because the journey to discovering your true identity is going to be the ride of your life. Please like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this.